Welcome to Wine Chats with Bildo and Lindalin. My name is Billy Milovanovic, aka Bildo.
And my name's Lindsay Kirkwood, also known as Lindalin.
And this is an offensively funny podcast about drinking wine and chatting life. Hope you enjoy.
Bill, welcome to the month of November.
Yay!
I can't believe that it's November. That's crazy.
I know. Already.
Insane.
It's been an insane year.
Yeah.
Very exciting. And what are we doing this month, Lindsay?
Wow, you're weird.
I am a little weird today. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We've had a big day already.
We have.
But look, we're on the downhill slide. Is that what people say?
Sure.
Downhill slide? Sure, whatever.
Let's go.
We're on a hill. So month of November, our umbrella topic is going to be the worlds.
Around the world in 30 days. That's our own sound effects.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right?
They can tell. So today we're going to kick off with just us chatting about our hometown.
Yes.
/ hometowns.
Well, we will get into as well what is a hometown.
Exactly.
So
totally.
Right?
And it's also very exciting, Billy, because all of the month of November, we have the amazing Sense of Taste sponsoring us yet again.
Yes.
We could not be more excited.
Well, the most exciting part as well is that we get to go in store and pick the wines. Like we get to go and chat to them about like what's out there. Like what weird wines are you guys serving us up? So what weird wine are you serving us up today, Lindsay?
I mean, you could call it weird or you could call it
different,
something nicer.
Unique.
Yeah, unique would be good. We were there this morning and we were like, we're talking about hometowns. Billy's from freaking buttfuck whoever, wherever it is.
I'm from a beautiful place called Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
There.
The closest we could get to was Greece.
Because, and we have had, I guess, what do you call it? A Middle Eastern wine. Remember that god awful tasting thing that we tried?
That was
where was
Serbian
that
or Croatian?
Yeah, gross.
Yeah,
it
that was not
horrible.
Middle Eastern.
Okay, well,
that's
not
a totally
Middle Eastern.
different
Why
part
did
of
I say
it.
Middle
I don't
Eastern?
know. I mean, we are really worldly people. And honestly, apologies for whatever happens here today.
I'm like, why is she looking at me so weirdly?
I'm like, that's no,
not Middle
We
East.
did talk about Turkey. Is that Middle East? I don't think so.
Look, let's just move along.
Stop it. I know.
Especially like with the world right now, like I should not be cracking jokes.
Yes.
Anywho, let's move on. Yes, like what you said, this was the closest wine to your home.
Sense of Taste had. That's right.
That
yes.
Sense of Taste had. And like Sense of Taste has a gazillion types of wine.
Yeah.
So I can read this part. It's red on black. That
good.
The wine label,
so
right?
You can read the English?
Great. The easy part. It's Nemia. That's the area of
I don't know
Greece.
why I would say Nemia.
You probably would say Nemia.
But it could be Nemia as well. I don't know. Who knows?
It's that
the Greeks know.
And how do you say that, Billy? Use your tongue.
Mitravelas.
There you go. So it's like a red blend, if you will.
Yes.
Right? Red on black. Love it. So
I can get my glass.
Just a red dry wine, it says on the back.
What more do you need?
Right up our alley.
Right. And it's corked, so we will have to put it aside so we don't knock it over. Oof, look at that color.
Oh, I know. I was just going to say that. So vibrant.
Do you want me to hold this while you get your glass? Can you do that? Oh, look at you with your arms.
I can multitask.
Wow. I'm swirling, not swishing. Lindsay doesn't like that.
Billy used to say swish, and I'm like, that's not the right word. But anywho.
I'm just not that well versed in wines to be able to like tell you what I just smelled. You know what I mean? Like I smell it for the sake of like smelling it. But do I know what I'm doing?
Well, I don't know. I thought you were about to take a sip, and I was like, we haven't even cheers.
No, babe. I have manners.
Right.
Cheers. Ooh.
The color is very, I mean, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's very bold, I'm going to say.
Bold. I'm trying to steer clear from using words like thick.
No, it's very thick.
Well, it like looks really like, you know, it's not like a dainty look. Oh my God, just sip it.
Exactly. Just try it. What is that smell? I could smell it as it was going like up to my mouth.
Oh, I like that. That's interesting.
This is delicious.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's very tart on the tongue, I want to say.
Dry.
Yes, tart. And then it's just smooth from there.
Do you know what I'm getting?
What are you getting?
The smell.
I was going to say, you're going to get cigar or something.
I am.
Cigar?
Smoky. I get really like ashtray this is going to sound weird, in a pleasant way.
That's really nice. I don't. And normally when you tell me these things, it gets it in my head, so then I do see it, but I'm not getting that.
It is such a delicious wine.
It's actually a really delicious wine. I really like that. Good job, Greeks. Nice wine.
Oh my God, yum. You definitely go and try it. All of our bottles were roughly around $30 at Sense of Taste.
Somewhere between 20 and 30. So give them a crack. And just try something different. A Greek wine. How awesome. We tried a white wine a few weeks ago, the Asiritko.
Where? What?
Do you remember the other Greek wine we tried?
Oh, yes. It was delicious. I'm like, what are you saying? Yeah, I can't. Can you speak English, please?
Well, I guess just Greek wines are a bit new for us. That's all.
They are. And they're delicious. And we're very happy that we've entered into that wine world.
Yes. Here we are. Now, let's enter into Ontario South River. Wait.
It's not Ontario South River.
Ontario? Yeah, other way. Okay. South River, Ontario, Canada.
How about
BC? What's BC? British Columbia?
Or before Christ? I don't know. What are you talking about? But BC is
just throwing things out. Or just throwing all the Canadian terms I can figure out.
Maple syrup, bacon, grizzly bear,
hockey.
Did you hear about that hockey?
I did. Oh, don't even get me started. I did. The guy, yes.
Oh my Lord.
And did you watch the footage?
No. I looked for it and then I'm like, what am I doing?
Well,
I
it's not like, okay, I'm sorry. It's a little bit off topic now.
Yes.
Just this week, there's been a circulating story about ice hockey team and a guy getting sliced in the neck with an ice hockey stake.
Stop saying ice hockey. It's just fucking hockey.
Well, there's grass hockey here too.
No, just hockey.
I'm sorry, are we not?
No, just talking about hockey.
Of the actual sport of hockey on grass and
no. Just when you're speaking to a Canadian, just call it hockey, please.
Listen, this guy got sliced in the neck, and you can't see any bad stuff really. You see the impact itself, but you obviously knowing that he's passed. Anyway, this is not a hometown story, and apologies.
But it is, but it isn't because it's from my homeland, right? Not my hometown. Okay, so my hometown, it's called South River, Ontario, Canada.
Hi, South River.
Yes, no one there will be listening because there's barely anyone that lives there.
Question: is there a river?
Yes. It's called
Frank saw a car drive by. He's very passionate about South River as well.
It's the postman. Hates him. No. So there is a river called South River there. So it is a teeny tiny, definitely technically a village. It's not even a town. I've told you this a million times. Not saying that you were arguing. I'm just saying yes. And there's 1,100 people there.
Cute.
I think that sign's wrong because it has said 1,100 people for like decades.
Well, I don't understand those signs anyway. Because what do you wait for people to come and go and then you change the number around? That'll be a daily thing.
Know. Is that a thing? Because I don't really see the population signs here.
No.
Back home, every little town you get to, at least in Ontario, it'll say South River 1,100, Sunridge 900.
I find that really weird, but it should also be 1,100-ish.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And then that way you don't have to worry about whether the sign's right or not.
Look, it definitely has to be lower than that now. But so
you think there's lower?
Oh, I would be surprised if it's more.
I can't imagine a place where there's 1,000 people there. That's basically a glorified cult. That's how many people I'm expecting to have in my cult. Seriously, that's a tiny amount of people.
Oh my God, my head. It is a tiny. It is a tiny amount of people. Hence why it's a village. The village of South River. So I think it's from the 1980s.
Right.
No, 1880s. Not
I was going to say, so after you were born?
1880s. No, fuck's sakes. We're on the hill, remember? Slippery slope.
Heading steadily down.
Yeah, I know, tumbling. So I pretty much grew up there. I was born in a different town called Aurelia, but I didn't live there very long.
Okay.
Moved to South River, and my mom still lives in the same house that we moved into in 1983 because it says on the cement stamp.
Oh, stop it. That's beautiful.
So I was 4 when I moved into that house.
Right.
But we had been in South River living with my grandparents before that. But so just to give you an idea about the town, okay? Because Billy calls me her fancy friend, and I know she's just making fun of me, but...
No, I'm not. You are actually my fancy friend.
If you saw South River, no offense, South River... because it's a cute little town, but it's not fancy. There's nothing fancy about it.
Small towns in general.
It is, and it's actually really sad because it has so much potential. It could be the super cute town that has the super cute little high street with the flags and the flowers and
cute. Yes, like you see in the movies.
Yeah, and it could have hustle and bustle, but the main street isn't even busy anymore. It's the main street's the highway.
Well, no offense, they lost all their best people. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually you should go back to your homeland and like hustle and bustle the streets, Lindsay.
I should. I won't, but I should.
Because, you know.
So like literally, okay.
Yeah.
There's one gas station, one Chinese food store, one convenience store, one teeny tiny grocery store.
I can't imagine.
One credit union, not even a bank, but like credit union's kind of like a bank, right?
Okay.
Same, but different. Like there's just one little thing, like, you know what I mean? We don't have a Walmart.
How many traffic lights do you have? Did you already say that?
One set of traffic lights.
Why even have that one? That must be a big intersection.
Yes, it's because it's the main highway. So the main highway cuts through South River.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah. You want to have a light there.
You needed a light. Yeah. Right. And like as a rule growing up, my mom would always say, because there wasn't a light at that time, she would always say, you can only go to the highway. You can't cross the highway because it was so dangerous. Of course, naturally, right? Yeah. So it's just teeny tiny. But you know what we do have?
Okay. Well, it's obviously not bacon and maple syrup.
Well, no. I mean, obviously not. Of course.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like where they originate from. I don't know.
A brewery. A brewery. How funny. South River Brewing Co. So like this old gas station that was iconic. So it's called the Esso, or it was. And it was like a truck stop, and it had a really cool diner, and like it was the hub. Like back in the day, like it was busy. It was on the highway, and it was the hub. Like lots of people would go there for dinner, and like it was just, if you saw old school photos, the Esso was like
happening.
Yeah, and it was called the Happy Landing.
Oh,
I know. I was so happy, and then it wasn't so happy, and it turned into a piece of shit, and like just started to rot away. So the brewery
again, because all the best people kept leaving. All the kids are growing up and leaving.
Yeah, they're like,
right, like fuck this place. Yeah, I'm out.
So they're a brewing co. They built this beautiful building and started a beer brewery. So now it's like kind of bringing back a bit of life to the town.
Aww.
I know.
I mean, I love beer. I love Lindsay. I would love to go to South River. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, the brewery. Oh, we have a new chemist. We have a new drugstore.
Great. Where all the parties are going to be happening. Bring your tailgates.
You don't leave your tailgate
I don't
home.
know, Lindsay, okay? I'm not a tailgate party kind of gal. I don't really know what's happening.
Oh, my God. But it's just funny because like when we were talking about having this conversation as a topic, you're like, well, I'm going to have to Google facts. I'm like, what do you mean Google facts about your hometown? Like, just talk about your hometown. Like,
I mean,
I don't understand.
I was even going to say to you, so you obviously consider South River to be your hometown, not because you were there from 4 to what? When did you leave?
Well, like
20 something, like 20.
Yeah. Like after college.
Yeah.
Well, not after college, before college. So like 18, I guess I moved away. But then I moved back home as well. But no, before I moved into the house my mom's in now, we did still live in South River while the house was being built and stuff. I was living with my grandparents. Yeah. So I don't know how old I was when I moved to South River though. Maybe 2? I don't know. Yeah,
and so because you wouldn't have had too many memories from, what is this place, Aurelia? Am I saying that right? Or where were you born?
Aurelia.
That was so close. Come on. Anyway, my thing is, and we'll get into that after the break. But like I moved around so much when I was little. Yeah. And absolutely, I have a place I was born, and I was there for the first 6 years. Sorry. But I mean, like, I don't have any memories from it. Like none that I can really tell you like, oh, this is what happened to me over here and there. Like I literally don't remember. So we're going to get into, I think when the break comes back, someone's calling me on my phone. I'm hoping it's us.
Are we famous?
Being famous. I know. That's.
Is it South River? The mayor of South River's ringing. He's like, oh my God, thanks for the shout out.
Lindsay, you're getting the key to this town.
Yes, because then I would
Could you get a key?
Fix it. I don't know, probably not. But it just to, I know you want to go to break because you're such a time Nazi, but it just really saddens me when like it's got so much potential and it's like right on the brink of, not the brink, like on the border of a massive national park, and it's got so many things going for it.
That's beautiful.
But it's just, there's so much potential, but it's just
something has to happen there to bring people in, because otherwise everybody's just leaving. I know. And the world is becoming a bit more modern, you know. It's not like dandy like it was back in the day where you could just settle down and live there forever. It's like now people want to get out and see stuff because of the internet.
Oh, wow. Anyway, I think we need to take a break after that very, very deep statement there, Billy. We need to go ponder that. Now that we've pondered your very deep statement, Billy, let's talk about your little hometown.
Okay, so I needed my wine for this. So when I was born, and then when I was 6, a war happened in former Yugoslavia, and so I had to move, and we moved to Belgrade when I was 6.
Okay.
And then when I was 9, so only 3 years later, we moved to Wellington, New Zealand. And then when I was 14, I moved to Brisbane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what the fuck's a hometown? Like,
Well, I wouldn't count Brisbane. I would count like the first couple towns that like would be. So you were in Belgrade till 6.
Lindsay,
no, I wasn't
can somebody
listening. I actually
please
tuned out.
Actually pay attention. Oh my God.
Monsar. How do you say it? Monsar?
Jesus Christ. Anyway, look, the point,
Yes.
I've decided on like the fact that it should be Mostar because.
Yes, that's your first one, right?
Yes. And this is where, I mean, there's a little story time here because I posted something up on my socials just saying, oh, hey, guys, like I've moved around a lot. I have a lot of people on my Instagram and my Facebook that are Yugoslav and that have had a similar upbringing. Actually, even your friend the other day, Amelia, we were talking because she was young when she, moved from Poland to New Zealand and stuff. So there's lots of people who had my journey. Nothing unusual there. Yeah. And so I put up a little thing saying like, what the hell is even a hometown? Because to be honest, like if I had to pick a hometown, I would say Brisbane because I've been here the longest, to be honest. But I know that's not the idea of it, right? It should be like where you come from. Yeah. I don't have any real memories from like Mostar. I was 6. Like, what do you remember between 0 and 6?
Totally. And then how long were you in
Belgrade for 3 years? Okay, but then even in those 3 years, I changed 6 schools. We moved around so much that it wasn't like I was in one place. So I could say to you, oh, we used to go there and I used to do this.
Right. Yeah.
And then Wellington, when we were there, I moved around a bunch, but I was in the same school and in the same kind of general area. So I remember a little bit of that because now I'm a bit older. Yeah. But then I came here at 14 and I've been here since. So it's like, it's all just my childhood to me is very much in age ranges, as in 0 to 6 I was here, 6 to 9 I was here, 9 to, so I kind of think about it in those terms. I don't really have the sharpest memories of any of those places anymore. Yeah. So anyway, I put up a little story, had some lovely Yugoslav girl message me back. Which I found so hilarious because it was one of those first of all, second of all messages where it was like, first of all, if you have to ask people about what your hometown is, that is not your hometown. Second of all, if you're asking people about fun facts about these places, then blah, blah, blah.
Does she even know you? Like I saw
No, well, she kind of doesn't. She sort of doesn't. Like we know of each other in the community.
But if she actually paid attention to your delivery of it, you know what I mean? Like it was a fun delivery.
The idea was to engage the people, to chat to the people, to see if anybody had anything to say for the episode. So, like talking about hometowns, it makes me sad a little bit because it's almost like this thing, like if anybody's grown up like me, I'm not going to try and get emotional, but if anybody's grown up like me, you would know that it's a really tricky thing. You never quite know where you belong. Yeah. You've been to so many different places. No, truly, I really don't.
Tissues.
I know, right? I've always had this like, it is mine, like Mostar where I'm from is mine, but I'm not theirs. Right. Because they don't like, it's not that they reject me. It's not like they actively,
of course
but it's
not.
like when the community reacts like this, it's almost like there's just no point. It's like I'm trying to talk to people who I really want to be part of, but they continue to reject me and send these stupid expectations on me because I should behave like this because I'm from here, whatever. Anyway, lots of beautiful, supportive people in the community, lots of great, have been personal supports to me for a long time. So not to take it against anybody. But anyway, after that wanky comment, I deleted the message. So I'm not going to reply to you if you're watching or listening to this. It's dumb.
I want to reply to you.
Nothing to say to people like that because if you're not in the arena, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But it did make me think, she's kind of right. Like as in, not in that sense, but like as in, okay, my hometown should just be the place where I was born and grew up. Yeah. And there's lots of beautiful things to say about Mostar. So then the one thing I really wanted to talk about.
Can I just interject before you talk about it? You can have more than one hometown though, right?
Like it's your story.
Yes, of course. Because like when Bill and I were like messaging back and forth about it, I'm like, that just adds to your story, having more hometowns. Like that's just your hometown, your hometown story that you've got multiple hometowns. I think that's...
Well, it's my life. What can I do? I can't tell you. I can't pick one,
Yeah, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it could be a good thing, as in like when you tell your kids your story, you've got so many... chapters in your book, so to speak. Yeah, fuck, that was good. So, right?
Chapter 1, Mostar.
That one. And then Belgrade.
That was a good, right?
And then Wellington, and then Brisbane. See, I'm good.
Right?
I got it. Okay, so
good job, Lenny. So when I was born,
We're back here.
And back we go. Listen, I was born in Mostar. It's I would say I think like there was because it's Bosnia and Herzegovina.
What's Herzegovina?
Herzegovina is like it's it's all there are regions, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
So I think Mostar was like the capital, if you will, of Herzegovina, whereas like Sarajevo was the capital of Bosnia.
Okay.
I think officially Sarajevo was the capital of the whole place now.
Right.
Don't worry about that.
So
details. Listen, Mostar is a beautiful, huge city in Bosnia. And the thing that's synonymous with Mostar really is the bridge, the old bridge.
Oh. The bridge from where to where? Like, no, but where does it start?
Sorry,
does it,
it's a
bridge.
It's across the river, right?
Does it connect like borders?
No. It's just it's a part of the old town. So this was built back in like 1560 something. Like it goes way back. It was built by the Turkish people when they had us under their rule. Listen, we've had a few owners. It's fine. So they built the bridge, 1600s.
Right.
Beautiful, great bridge.
Yeah.
It's the river runs right under it.
Is this the famous bridge that everybody jumps off of?
This is the bridge.
I think Hamish and Andy jumped off that.
Okay. Are you stealing my story?
No. Sorry.
Are you telling my story?
Is that the story?
No. No, Lindsay, it's not.
Sorry.
No, anyway, but that's the bridge.
Okay,
that's right.
yes.
Because right now you'll probably have seen competitions from like Red Bull bring people in now. Like it's a huge tourist attraction now. And the name Mostar actually stems from that. It's like it's from Mostari, keepers of the bridge or something.
Right.
So
Cool.
it's like beautiful as a thing. Anyway, in 1993, so I left in 1992. A year later, the bridge gets bombed.
By who?
Well, it's a war. So
Civil war. Like it was a civil. Like I know I'm really dumb question.
It was a civil war. Well, it was between people.
Oh.
You know, the Croatians and the Serbians and the Bosnians, they all started getting angry at each other and shooting each other. I believe it was someone on the Croatian side that might have knocked it down. And then as I was reading about this, I actually found out that in 2017, they declared that it was basically within war, it was legal for them to have taken there was an appeal about the whole thing. And that was apparently legal for them to bomb the place, to bomb the bridge because they were using the bridge to be shooting their side. Okay. So basically it was like because you were using it in a military capacity, it was fair game to be taken down. So that was just an interesting...
you know what I mean. Yeah.
I know what you mean. Oh, I know. We're just offending so many different people now. It doesn't matter. We've already offended them. Who cares? So anyway, the bridge comes down in 1993. Pretty much straight away they start petitioning to rebuild it.
Okay.
So the war is cleared up. I think it was like 98 they started finally building the bridge back up.
Okay.
So then they tried to get as much out of the water where it all fell to like try and
like pieces of the bridge.
Yeah, so they pulled out as many pieces of the bridge as they could to try and make up the rest of it. And then they went back to the local quarry where they got the original stones and cut them up. Did the bridge up basically. It took about 6 years to build back, I think. So in 2004 it was officially opened back up.
Why does it take your people so long to build a bridge?
Dude, it's Bosnia.
Fucking build a bridge and
they
move
did
on.
it like and I also... Wow, Lindsay, such a poet today. They used the old Ottoman, because it was like the Ottoman Empire that built it or something, and so they used the same way to build it that they did back in the day.
To make it as authentic as possible.
Yeah, so they try to really bring it back the way it was, not just build a fucking bridge and get over it, Lindsay, as if. Oh my God. Our people never get over anything. Are you kidding me?
Clearly.
Very passionate. So that's Mostar, right?
Cool.
Like that's the place I first came from.
Yes.
Then I went to Belgrade. Belgrade, what I would say is probably like the best thing I remember from Belgrade is that it's got like this fortress in the city.
Fortress for what?
It like a giant castle that was built back in like 200 BC.
BC.
Before Christ, not British Columbia. Just to clarify.
So confused.
I can't believe that came up twice in one episode.
I know. Weird, right?
Weird. Anyway, so this thing was built, and then in the 1300s it got built more.
Okay.
Structures.
Like, did royalty live there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because we had royalty back in like Yugoslavia. There was some sort of kingdom of the Slavs initially before it turned into Yugoslavia officially. So I mean, that's a whole different story in itself.
Yeah.
But it's got this fucking fortress in the middle of the city. And there's like, when you walk through it, there's like tanks and there's these old giant, those really thick walls, and you're walking in a castle. It's incredible. It's like the coolest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And it's right in the city.
That's cool. Yeah. Like a tourist attraction now. Like you pay to go in and yeah.
No, you don't pay to go in. It's just part of the city. You just go and walk around it and yeah. Oh, totally. I'm sure there is something like some sort of museum or something there, but I can tell you very much now that me and my friends went there. I don't think we were drunk, but we certainly took lots of photos, and it was quite an adventure.
I can imagine. But like, so it's a castle and people can just roam around the castle where like a castle's huge.
It's not like the inside of the castle. It's more like a fortress on the outside. So you can do the walls and you can see outside the structures and stuff like that. You don't necessarily go in and like have tea with the queen, if you know what I mean.
Because that's what I'm thinking when you say
dead.
castle.
Yep.
Yeah, she is dead.
She passed
in
hundreds of
years. Yeah. Your queen or the Queen Elizabeth?
Or whatever queen was in there. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like a massive courtyard inside.
I really couldn't explain to you that it's just this giant structure that was like, you know, like when you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but you know, for us who have seen Game of Thrones, it's like, you know, you've got the walls on the outside and then the structures on the inside and like all the domes and things. So there's lots of different places. It's huge.
I should Google it.
You should definitely Google it. It's called Kalamagdan.
Don't know how to spell it, but I'll look it up.
K-A.
I'll get you to spell it. Yeah. Okay, you lost me already. Okay, and then you went to Wellington.
And then I went to Wellington, windiest city in the fucking world. Should we talk about the wind? Because the wind sucks. This is probably where I get my angries at the wind.
Yeah.
I actually cannot stand it when it's windy. My whole body gets discombobulated. I cannot think.
Yeah.
These last few weeks, it's been really windy in Brisbane and it's been awful.
100%. We need to have a whole episode on how the wind pisses us off.
We can't even say it. That's how angry we are. And that's all I mean, New Zealand was great. It was a place I grew up. It has a museum, Te Papa. You know, that's really all I can tell you.
You're really selling New Zealand. Sorry, New
Zealand.
No,
I love New Zealand. I love the people in New Zealand. I feel like it's the first place we came. We didn't know the language. We didn't have anything. And they were so kind to us. And they just took us in and looked after us really well. And so I've got nothing but beautiful things to say about New Zealand. I just don't know anything about actually.
Why did you guys move from New Zealand to Brisbane again? I know you told me, but
New Zealand doesn't, I would say, does not probably have as many opportunities in general with schooling, with work, with the cost of living is really expensive, stuff like that. It's a very small place and it's hard to get to. So I think we don't, like, resources are scarce, if you will.
So your parents made the decision to be like, actually we'd have a better future in Brisbane.
Well, we tried to apply to America, Australia and New Zealand just to get out initially. And so the first place we got to was New Zealand. And so we're like, fuck yeah, let's go.
And that was as a refugee, obviously?
Yes.
Yeah. And then when, was it hard? Like, how did you get from New Zealand to Brisbane? Like, which
on a
visa?
plane.
I knew you're going to answer it like that. I fucking hate her.
They gave me peanuts and everything. I don't know, man. It would have been my parents. Exactly.
I need to ask
because they would have applied for just.
Like, would it still be refugee-ish?
No, I don't think it was refugee at that stage. Because we would have been citizens of New Zealand and then we would have just come over. And back then, so I moved here in 2000, it was a lot easier for Kiwis to come over than it is now. Then after that, they started clamping it down because we could go to uni for and still get HECS and all of that. So they were really, it was really loose between New Zealand and Australia at the time. And now it's way harder to be able to get
It's like another international country.
That's right? Exactly. Whereas back then it was relatively easy. And I don't remember it being a problem. And then when it was finally at a time where they were like, okay, now it's starting to get a bit harder for New Zealand citizens to be here, we got our Australian citizenship. So I think I was here for 3 years before I got my Australian citizenship. I didn't get it before that. Maybe even longer. Maybe even 5 years. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
Ooh,
I know, right?
You could have been deported.
God, that would have been the worst. Can you imagine getting... No, I'm not going to say that. I love New Zealand. I was just going to say, imagine getting... how many countries can I get kicked out of? Seriously. Stop kicking me out.
It's not sad. It's not funny. It's sad. Because of the reasons why you had to leave your other hometowns. Yes.
Yeah.
Not, especially in today's...
I don't even want to. Exactly.
I don't even want to. And it's not that we're burying your head in the sand. I just don't want to because it's just I'm mentally not prepared for that conversation.
Also, people don't listen to wine chats to listen about war politics.
No.
Do we
even know how to talk about war politics?
The fact that war politics even came out of my mouth is incredible. So, no thanks.
On that note, my bra is really tight and I need to go change it. So
100%.
Look, that's our hometown.
That's our hometown, yeah.
My hometown, your hometowns. For just shits and giggles, Billy, I want you to, because our listeners sent in a couple of their hometowns. One lady was from Dublin. And
that's not fair.
No,
you take
I'm
Dublin.
Reading, I picked one and I picked one for Billy. It's a New Zealand word.
Okay, now, hi, Joanne.
Yeah, it's got multiple letters in it.
We are going to mess this up. But this is a Maori name, so it's phonetic. Wainu Iomata. Wainu Iomata.
Don't know.
Wainu Iomata.
Why do you matter? Because, Joanne, you do. Everyone matters. Is that right?
Yes, Joanne and Sarah from Dublin, you matter too. So anyway, people are from cool places.
It was a pop quiz.
It was a
because, you know, you and having your hometown as is it New
I'm
Zealand?
just going around the world, just, you know, picking up hometowns left, right, and center. 3 and counting. 4.
Oh my! I was like, didn't you just list off 4? I think we need to go.
I've forgotten.
Can you go hit the button, Billy?
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Wine Chats podcast with Bildo and Lindalin. You can find us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can listen to us on any favorite podcasting app or watch on YouTube.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, review, comment, send us some love. We absolutely love it.
Chat soon. Come on, Lenny. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat putting this in.
Come on.
Okay, we'll add in chat soon at the end.
Yeah.
Both of us?
Yeah, go
okay.
on.
Chat soon.